with them. So in the next few minutes, we get to talk about the copy amendment bill that was passed last year by the National Assembly on the 1st of September. And for that conversation, I'm going to be joined by the General Manager for Legal Services, Ms. Chola, Makgamathe. That conversation is coming up shortly after the break. On Capricorn FM, Limpopo's hottest frequency. Welcome to the show if you have just joined. We have started a conversation with Samro, and recently, or just previously, we had a conversation with Makgamathe, who is the General Manager for Member Services. We do continue in that conversation with Ms. Chola Makgamathe, who is the General Manager of Legal Services. We're understanding what it means to be a member of SAMRO, and because we're also talking to Legal Services, we want to also find out about the Copyright Amendment Bill that was recently passed. She is joining us on the line for that conversation. Good morning, and thank you so much for your time. How are you doing?
Good morning, Hlekani. I'm well, and yourself?
I am well, thank you. So for the listeners who are unfamiliar with the Copyright Amendment Bill, can you first explain to us what this bill is all about?
So I'm happy to. Essentially, the Copyright Amendment Bill is an amendment to what is currently the Copyright Act. It's a 1978 piece of legislation, and it requires several updates, including taking into account what's happened in the landscape in the creative industries, and specifically because we're speaking about SAMRO, the changes in music, how it's consumed, and how works are defined, and how exceptions are also defined and catered for in the Copyright Act. So the amendment bill has not yet been passed. There's currently a process of consultation that's taking place so that the public can make input into what has been proposed by the legislature in the bill.
So how will the bill then impact the music and creative industry, particularly the SAMRO members?
So effectively, the way the bill has currently been drafted is that it will directly impact the ability of SAMRO members to earn the income that they're currently earning. Because what the Copyright Act does is that it manages the balance between creators and how they're protected. So, for instance, songwriters and how they're protected, and also manages the relationship with users and how they use those works, in terms of getting licenses, in terms of the moral rights that they're meant to uphold, in terms of the fees that they pay, in terms of royalties, which we then pay as SAMRO to our members. So what's going to happen now with the way the bill is drafted is that it tilts in favor of users vis-a-vis SAMRO members. And what will happen is that the way the bill is drafted is that it will allow for situations where users will be able to use SAMRO members' work for free without getting a license, without paying the use of their works, which is very dangerous and very detrimental to, in particular, SAMRO members. But it also just doesn't impact SAMRO members, it impacts other sectors within the creative industries as well.
Sure. We do also understand that the process to send in written submissions to the NCOP closed on the 27th of January this past week. So can you tell us about the current status of the bill and what needs to happen next?
So the NCOP closed for written submissions on the 27th. They are going to have oral hearings this month and next month. Okay. And what's also going to happen, there's a concurrent process in all the provinces where provincial legislatures are also calling for submissions which are written, and they'll also be having hearings in each province where members can actually go and make written offers to the legislatures. I know Mpumalanga has made a call, Northern Cape has made a call, Western Cape has made a call, and Gauteng has also made a call. Limpopo and the other provinces, we're still waiting to hear from those legislatures when they will be asking the public for their submissions.
So when we say the public, we're not only speaking about the members of SAMRO?
No. You're speaking about SAMRO members, you're speaking about book writers, you're speaking about people in the film sector, television, animation.
Radio.
So you're talking about the radio, creative industry as a whole, the broad spectrum,
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time and having this conversation with us. Truly do appreciate it. Do enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Lekan. You too.